Okay, good morning students. Today we shall pass on to the problem number 7 from the exercise and how to pass the entries in the ledger. That is how to post them into ledger we shall see. From the following information, prepare purchase day book and purchases return book for the month of June 2017 and post them into ledger accounts in the books of Robert Furniture March. So this is regarding in the books of Robert Furniture March. Robert Furniture March. Now we will have to prepare. They have specified clearly purchase day book and purchases return book, and these are the two books. I told you very many times after start teaching this chapter, sometimes the question may be very specific. Prepare purchase book, prepare purchase return book, prepare sales book, say prepare sales return book, or prepare purchase book and sales book. The question may be like this. It is specific. Sometimes pass entries in the proper subsidiary books. The question may be asked like that. For that, what you must do, you must find what are the subsidiary books you should prepare. Okay. In this, the question is very specific. We should prepare now the purchases book and purchases return book. For this, you know, date, particulars, invoice number, ledger folio, amount, details total, amount, details total. This is the last one. The next one is ledger folio. Then this column is invoice number. This is particulars. This column is meant for dates. This is purchases book. Then another book what we have to prepare is purchases return book. Date. The first column is the same. Date. The second column is also the same. Particulars. What we are preparing is purchases, returns, book. This is what we are going to prepare. The next column, the third column is different. This is debit note number. Debit note number. The fourth column, as usual, common in all the four books. ledger folio. And the fifth column is also common, that is amount then this column can be subdivided into two. One is the details, other one is total. Then this column is for remarks. Under this remark column we should state the reason for which the goods purchased or returned. So we shall prepare both the books now. We shall read one by one and prepare both the books. Purchased from Balu traders. This you should remember what entries are eligible to be passed here. One, the transaction related to furniture, and the second point, the transaction must be a credit transaction. Okay, bearing these 2 points in mind, we can prepare these 2 books for problem number 7. So the first one is 2017 June 1st. June 1st. Purchased from Balu traders. This is from Balu traders. What is purchased from Balu traders? 20 chairs at the rate of rupees 150 each on credit. That's why it is appearing here. No more transaction from Balu traders, and therefore multiply and write the answer in the total column. 2 into 15, 30. Here 1 0, here 1 0, 2 zeros. So this is 3000. Then second one, 13, bought from Subhash and Co. on credit. Then bought from Subhash and Co. on credit. But all the items bought from Subhash and Co. Almirah, tables and chairs. Okay, this we must take more care in it. So this is Subhash and Co. 13th, June 13th. Subhash and Co. We shall write the items one by one. To Almirah. At the rate of rupees 3,100. There are 3 items purchased from this Subhash and Co. Therefore, you write the amount in details column. 0, 0, 2, 6. We have multiplied 3,100 by 2. Then second item, 10 tables. At the rate of rupees 1,500 each. 1,500. 10 into 1,500, add 1 0, 15,000. Then the third item, 15 chairs. At the rate of rupees 200 each. 200 each. 2 into 15, 30, 2 more zeros. 15 chairs at the rate of rupees 200. This is also purchased, bought from Subhash and Co. on credit. These are all furniture items and also purchased on credit. So we shall find the total of these three. 0, 0, 2, 24. 24,200. Here 10% TD is allowed. So less 10% TD. Less 10% TD. To find out 10%, it is easy, you leave 1 0, or else 24,200 into 10 by 100. If you simplify, you will get that answer. 2,420 less and 0 to 10 minus 2, 8, 11 minus 4, 7, 3 minus 2, 1, 2, 21,780. Yes. Then with this, the freight charges should be added. They have given the instruction in the problem itself. Add freight charges to 220. And freight charges 220. Then it will be 22,000. 22,000. Then the next item is returned to damages chairs to borrowed traders and the cash not received. So it is the return, purchases return on what date? 2017 June 21st. It is returned to borrowed traders. Borrowed traders. How many chairs were returned? 2 chairs. 2 chairs. Those 2 chairs were bought. 1 chair at the rate of 150. From this you should find. Here actually no detail is given. Out of those 20 chairs, 2 chairs were damaged and therefore returned. And therefore what is the value of the chairs returned? Each chair rupees 150. 2 chairs were returned. Therefore 2 chairs into rupees 150. So 2 into 150, 300. Put down here. For what reason those 2 chairs were returned? Therefore, this is damaged. Damaged. Cash not received. Damaged, cash not received. Then after that, 24th. After that, 24th. Purchased from Sunrise Furniture Mart. 24th, Sunrise Furniture Mart. The goods were purchased 24th. Sunrise Furniture Mart. From Sunrise Furniture Mart, what was purchased? 25 almirahs. 25 almirahs at the rate of 1,300. 1,300. So 25 into 1,300. Only one item. It can be written straight away in the total column. 0, 0. Then 325 is 75. Remainder 7. 125, 25, 25 plus 7, 32. 32,500. After 24th, it is 27th. Purchased from Mauli Traders. On 25th, again it is a purchase. Mauli Traders. What was purchased? 10 executive tables. Executive tables at the rate of rupees 3,275, 3,275, 3,275. So 3,275 into 10. So add one more zero. 3,275 with this add 1 0. That is the amount. Then on 29th, returned 3 almirahs to Sunrise Furniture Mart and cash not received. On what date it is? 29th. On 29th, it is Sunrise Furniture Mart. This is Sunrise Furniture Mart. Sunrise Furniture Mart. So, how many almirahs returned? 3 almirahs. 3 almirahs at the rate of rupees. Sunrise at what rate it was bought? At the rate of rupees 1,300. So at the rate of rupees 1,300. So you multiply, you will get 3,900. 900. Cash not received. Cash not received. So we have attended all the items, and therefore we can find the total. Find the total of purchases return book. In the place of total particulars column, what we should write? Purchases returns account creditor. Purchases account debtor, whereas purchases returns account creditor. So you add these two, 4,200. The purchases book total, it is purchases account debtor. We should write, find the total and write So 90,250. This is the total. So far we have seen how to prepare the different four types of subsidiary books. Now we are going to see how we are going to post them into ledger. And given problem 7 also carries from the following information prepare purchases day book and purchases return book. That's what we have prepared. Good. Then for the month of June 2017 and post them into ledger accounts in the books of Robert Furniture March. It is given. So we should post them all into ledger accounts. I hope you remember the different columns of ledger: date, particulars, journal folio, and amount rupees. Date, particulars, journal folio. In the ledger, journal folio. In the journal, ledger folio. Amount, rupees. This is for debit side, data. And for the credit side, the same four columns. Date, particulars, journal folio, and the amount. Date, particulars, journal folio, amount, rupees. This is the credit side, credit card. In this problem, we will have to prepare the ledgers for Balu traders, Subhash and Co, and Furniture March, Sunrise Furniture March, Mauli traders. For all these four, we should pass entries. How to pass entries for all this? It is the thing that what we should learn, whether the entire things are passed in the ledger or we shall use separate for purchases return and separate for and we shall do now in the purchases return book also we have written what should be shown here, and we can combinedly prepare ledger accounts in this. Under this category, what are we need not balance the things. Here it is shown, and therefore we need not balance the things. And what are the ledgers we should prepare? One, purchases book for purchases book. Two, for purchases return book. Three, for different traders. Who are the traders here? Borrow traders. Then 4, Subhash and Co. Number 5, Sunrise Furniture. Sunrise Furniture. Sunrise Furniture Mart. Number 6, Mauli Traders. These are the 5 ledger accounts what we are supposed to prepare. So, we shall prepare the purchases book first. In the purchases book, there are certain ideas to be followed. There are certain ideas to be followed. This book, this account is meant for purchases account, this ledger. Since the purchases account appears on the ledger, you go to the journal. Where does the purchases account appear? The purchases account appear. The purchases account appear only on the debit side. Therefore, entry should be on the debit side to sundry creditors. To sundry creditors. Who are the creditors? Balu Traders, Subhash and Co, Sunrise Furniture Mart, and Mauli Traders. Of course, what you should do, you can write all the 4 names here and find the total of this. But what they have done in the examples, for all these 4 traders, for all these 4 sellers from whom we have purchased, they have given the common name sundry creditors. பற்பல கடனிந்தோ யாரெல்லாம் கடன் கொடுத்துருக்கானோ அவனுடைய எல்லாம் சேர்த்து சன்றி கிரெடிட்டார்ஸ் அப்படின்னு போட்டுக்கோ அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு என்ன பண்ணணும்? யூ ஷுட் ரைட் த டோட்டல் அமௌண்ட் ஆஃப் த பர்ச்சேசஸ் புக். த டோட்டல் அமௌண்ட் ஆஃப் த பர்ச்சேசஸ் புக் யூ ஷுட் ரைட் ஹியர். What is the total amount of the purchases book? I taught you should have noticed 90,250. Here you may have the doubt. For borrow traders, the date will be 2017 June 1st, Subhash and Co, June 13, Sunrise Furniture Mart, Sunrise Furniture Mart, 24th, Then Mauli Traders 27. In addition to that, there was a return of rupees 300 for Balu Traders. On what date you know? This is on 21st. 21st, 300 was returned. Amount of 300 valued goods returned. And to Sunrise Furniture, on what date? 29th. 29th. Valued 3,900 returned. 3,900 returned. So, my question here is, from the four traders, on different dates, the goods were purchased. That is, the furniture were purchased. But when you combine all these four traders, what date you should write there? It is followed there, the last date of the month, 2017, June 30th. With this, the ledger is over. No question of balancing, etc. No question of balancing, etc. This is what. Then next book will be Purchases Return. The next book will be Purchases Return. This is not the actual ledger, and how to post the entries in the ledger from the subsidiary book is the question. No question of balancing, etc. So you need not worry about it. The next book will be the Purchases Return book. Creditor, debtor. I think I need not write the date, particular journal folio amount, the same column. We shall post the entries in the Purchases Return account, Purchases Returns account. Here for purchases, the entry is on the debit. For purchases return, the entry will be on the credit. 2017 June 30th, because the goods were returned to Balu Traders on 21st, to Sunrise Furniture Mart on 29th, on different dates. But here the sundry creditors are given combined entry. So we should write the date, last date of the month for which we are preparing the account. June 30th is the last date, therefore by sundry creditor. By sundry creditors, the amount will be 4,200. The amount for this is 4,200. Only post the entry. With this ledger is over. No question of balancing, etc. Now we shall pass on to Balu Traders. Balu Traders. Balu traders account. The same thing, debtor, creditor. For Balu traders, when the goods are purchased, purchasers account debtor to Balu traders account. In the journal, you should bring it back. Or else for purchasers, debit side entry. For purchasers return, credit side entry. That's all. That's what we have written. So for the purchasers we have written debit, and for the creditor you should write on the credit side. So on the credit it is Balu. What we should write by purchasers account. The amount is Balu traders 3,000 rupees by purchasers account 3,000. And for the same Balu on 21st, so here the date is given on a particular date, June 1st, 3,000 valued goods are purchased, but on 21st, 2017, June 21st, some goods valued 300 were returned. So purchasers account that side, purchases returns. On the debit side, 300. We need not balance. What is the entry, journal entry for purchases return? Balu account to purchases return account. Purchases to Balu, whereas for the return the reverse entry, Balu to purchases return. So here Balu on the debit side, therefore purchases return account, we will write that. With this, Balu traders account is over. I said in the beginning itself, it is how to post the entries from the subsidiary book. That's all. No balancing, etc. Then, the next creditor is Subhash and Co. The next creditor is Subhash and Co. So, for Subhash and Co, only there was purchase on what date? 13th, 2017, June 13th. For Subhash and Co. The purchase was made therefore by purchaser's account. The total amount for Subhash is 22,000. Subhash and Co. 22,000. That's all. With this, Subhash and Co. account is over. Then, the third creditor will be The third creditor will be Sunrise Furniture Mart. Sunrise Furniture Mart. Sunrise Furniture Mart. From Sunrise Furniture Mart, there was a purchase and purchase return. For purchasers like this Balu traders, what is the date? 2017 June 24. By purchasers, what is the amount? The Sunrise. $32,500. And on 29th there was some return. So 2017 June 27th there was some return amount 3,900. So this two we should write. To purchases return account, the amount is on 27th or 29th it is. 29th Sunrise. 29th the returned value is 3,900. The postings are made with this ledger is over. As I said already, no posting of balance sheet. Then the last one is Mauli Traders. Mauli Traders. In Mauli Traders on 27th, only one transaction. Debtor, creditor, the same thing here. Debtor, creditor. Here it is debtor, Mauli Traders, creditor, Mauli Traders, creditor. Now for Mauli Traders only there was purchase on 27th. 32,750. 32,750 only there was purchase. 2017 June 27th by purchases account. The amount is 32,750. That's all. These are all the ledgers. Once again, I repeat, and what or how you should prepare the ledger accounts from subsidiary books. I shall repeat once again. In this, we prepared already purchases book and purchases return book. They are subsidiary books. From those two subsidiary books, we are supposed to post the entries in the ledgers, necessary ledgers. So in that case, what are the ledgers we will have to prepare? For the two purchases book and purchases return book, separate entries. And the other traders, there are four traders: Balu Traders, Subhash & Co., Sunrise Furniture Mart, Mauli Traders. These are the four people who have sold the goods to us. That is, we purchased from these four traders. So totally 6 ledgers. Here there is no question of balancing the ledger. Here you should know how to post the entries from the subsidiary books into the ledger. That is our task. So the first book, purchases book, you pass entry on the debit, purchases return on the credit. Then traders, when purchases account, listen, for purchases account on the debit, but for the traders on the credit. All this. Purchases account, sundry creditors on the debit, but for the traders opposite. Purchases account, we should mention the name totally. A general name is given, sundry creditors. Here, in each and every trader's ledger account, we should write purchases. For some traders, there is a return also. For Balu Traders, there was a return. We have return. We have passed the entry in the ledger, post that. And also, for Sunrise Furniture Mart, there was a entry. So, there was a return. So, Balu Traders and Sunrise Furniture Mart, they have the returns, we pass the entries here. Or else only for the purchase, we will write purchase account. Once again I come for the sales account where you will write the entry. For purchases debit, sales credit. For purchases, entry will be on the debit, purchases return, entry will be on the credit. Sales, the entry will be on the credit. Sales return, the entry will be on the debit. So they should know. And therefore, for the traders from whom we purchased will appear on the debit side, credit side. For to whom we have sold the goods will appear on the debit side. Purchase யாருட்டேருந்து பண்ணணுமோ அவங்களுக்குலாம் அக்கௌண்ட் போடும்போது கிரெடிட்டில் போடணும், பர்ச்சேசஸ் டெபிட்டில் போடணும். அப்போ பர்ச்சேசஸ் டெபிட்டில் போடும்போதும் பர்ச்சேஸ் ரிட்டர்ன் எங்கே வரும்? கிரெடிட்டில் வரும். பர்ச்சேசஸ் டெபிட்டில் போடும்போதும் யார்கிட்டேருந்து வாங்கணுமோ அதெல்லாம் கிரெடிட்டில் என்ட்ரி வரும். த சேம் திங் பர்ச்சேசஸ் ரிட்டர்னுக்கு என்ட்ரி கிரெடிட்டில் போட்டால் the same purchases return will appear in the trader's account on the debit. இதெல்லாம் நீங்கள் ஞாபகம் வச்சுட்டு போடணும். But mostly in the exam only the subsidiary books will be asked. It's very rare to ask the preparation of ledger accounts from the subsidiary book. Okay, all right. There are some theory parts left with to be seen, and we shall see them. In the beginning, that is when I was about to start teaching, I told you the subsidiary books are the substitute for journal. What is the difference between the subsidiary book and the journal? In journal, all the entries, all types of entries, whether it is credit or cash, whether it is expense or income, whether it is regarding the asset or liability, whatever it is, all the entries are passed through in the journal entries. But in subsidiary books, for credit transactions, there are different subsidiary books. Say for example, purchases book, purchases return book, sales book, sales return book. Likewise, for sales also, sales book, sales return book, we have seen. And also for cash transaction, cash books are available there. And for other documents, that is bills payable, bills receivable, and a journal proper, all these are subsidiary books. But in this chapter number 6, what we have seen so far, purchases book, purchases return book, sales book, and sales return book. We have seen the format. As I said, it is a substitute for journal. So this replaces the journal. What is the main difference between the subsidiary book and the journal? The difference between in journal, all types of entries are passed, whereas in subsidiary books, only credit transactions are passed. No cash transactions are available there. Okay, this is the main difference. We have seen already how to post the entries from the journal from chapter 3 and 4, and now in this chapter we have seen just now how to post the subsidiary book entries to the ledger. Subsidiary book and the ledger report of the bottom. We have seen the formats of purchases book, purchases return book, sales book, and the sales return book. And now we are going to see the advantages and the trade discount. What are the advantages of subsidiary books? Advantages. 1. It is proper and systematic record. I shall explain once again. Proper and systematic record. Number 2, convenient for posting. Number 3, division of work. Number 4, efficiency. Number 5, helpful in decision making. Helpful in decision making. Number 6, look at the board carefully, that is, listen the video carefully. I shall explain them once a day. Prevent errors and frauds. Errors and frauds. Then, information, availability of information. Then, number 8, detailed information. Number 9, saving, time saving, saving in time, time saving. Number 10, the 10th advantage is labor of posting. level of posting reduced, and this trade discount shortly we say TD, and these are the things we should see now in this lesson. With this lesson number 6 is over. The other things given in the back, if necessary at the time of revision, we shall see. Now, we shall see the advantages of subsidiary book. Just now I said, subsidiary books are the substitutes of journal. And in what way it is useful and what are the advantages of it. I said that when I refer this a substitute for subsidiary book, substitute for journal, there in the journal all the entries are passed here. It is properly entered. The entries are passed properly. How? In the purchases book, only purchases. In the sales book, only sales. In the purchases return book, only purchases returned. Goods purchased or returned. In the sales return book, then the goods sold away or returned. Only those entries are specifically and systematically entered. And there are some ideas behind it. So when we prepare subsidiary books, what are the advantages available for us? And for that, we can say, we can take these entries together. This is 1, 2, and this efficiency, division of work, convenient. These 5 advantages we can discuss together. இது எல்லாமே more or less ஒரே மாதிரி தான். In journal, what we should do? For passing entries in the journal, you should know the 3 golden rules of accountancy. Then alone you can pass entry. What should be debited and what should be credited. For the preparation of these subsidiary books, we need not know the golden rules. Without knowing it itself, we can pass the entries. All the purchases made on credit basis will appear. So what are the credit purchases? We will just pass with the date. You just recall what are the columns there? Date, particulars, and invoice number, ledger folio, amount. We don't bother about that invoice number and the ledger folio. We just write the name of the trader in the particulars column and write the amount in detail and the total. Once there are different books different books are maintained separately. For purchases book. For sales book. For purchase return book. Sales return book, and therefore the work is divided. Whereas in case of a journal, the accountant is given with more task. Whatever the transaction, whether it is a credit transaction or cash transaction, or whatever the type of transaction, entire thing will be posted there. Entire things will be posted there. Where? In the journal. But here, in the purchases book, only purchases. In the sales book, there's only sales. Therefore, the work is divided. And what I should tell you, there is a difference in solving 5 problems of the same type and 5 problems each of different type. நல்லா நீங்க புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். ஒரே மாதிரி 5 கணக்கு கொடுத்தா ஒரு கணக்கு போட்டீங்கன்னா அதே மாடல கடன்னு போட்டு போயிடும். If the problems are different, every problem should be thought first, planned first, and we will find the solution later. It will take time there. There we cannot say or we cannot find much efficiency. Since the entries are of the same type, the efficiency will be there. We can do faster. In a subsidiary booklet, purchase booklet only we pass entries of purchases credit in nature. That's efficiency will be there. So you same type of entries are passed and therefore we can do it quickly, therefore time saving. And because of that, we need not appoint too many persons and we can appoint a few. Since the entries are of the same type, the level of posting reduced. நம்ம எடுத்துட்டு போஸ்டிங் போடுற டைம் வந்து என்ன ஆகுது மிச்சமாகுது. So these 5 are different. So we have seen six advantages. 1 and again 2, 3, 4, 9, 10. Then only if we know the amount of purchase, the amount of sales, and what is the profit earned, what is the revenue of the business, if we know all those things, we can decide something. So to take some decision in the business, these subsidiary books are useful. And just now I said we can get whatever the type. Suppose you are the boss of the business, you can call the accountant how much amount the credit purchases were made. In case of a journal, we should turn the pages. Journal பக்கத்தை புரட்டி பார்த்து 7th purchase பண்ணிருக்கோம், 10th purchase பண்ணிருக்கோம் அப்படிலாம் பார்க்கணும். In case of the subsidiary book, if you just have a glance at the purchases book, we can say what is the total credit purchase that were made. ஈஸியா சொல்லிக்கலாம். ஒரு glance பார்த்தாலே டக்குன்னு அந்த பேஜை பார்த்து சொல்லிக்கலாம். Whereas in the case of journals, we should write date-wise and find the total, and therefore the information will not be easy. So the availability of information, getting the information is easy, and also it will be in detail. So much sales have been made, so much purchases have been made, so much amount of valued goods have been returned. All these things we can get detail. Therefore, information we can get easily, and the detailed information are available. Beyond all these things, if we do different jobs, we cannot say we can do without any mistake. But if we do the same type of job, the maximum errors will be avoided. ஒரே மாதிரி வேலையை செஞ்சோம்னா அது தப்பு வர்றதுக்கு கம்மியாக இருக்கும் சான்ஸ். If you do different types of jobs, there are possibilities of committing mistakes or doing the errors or making the errors. In this, the same type of work is done by the laborers, and because of that, the errors and the frauds are prevented. So these are the 10 advantages given. What about the trade discount? We have seen in problems often less trade discount, and what is the purpose of it? To encourage the purchaser. A small gift like is given to the purchaser. A small facility is given to the purchaser. A small advantage is given to the purchaser. Say for example, 10 goods of each rupees 1,000, 10 into 1,000, 10,000 rupees he has to pay. To encourage the customer, some 10% discount, that is the trade discount, TD is given. What is the 10% of 10,000? It is 1,000. 10,000 into 10,000 into 10 by 100. If you simplify this, you will get 1,000. I told you 10% of any amount we can calculate easily by leaving 1 0 from there. That is 1,000. So what is the amount to be paid? 9,000 only. This trade discount will not be shown in the bill. It is shown only in the invoice. and this amount shown in the bill will be 9,000 only, and this will be only taken to the account. So it is the special advantage to the buyer, and to attract the buyers, to encourage the buyer, this type of discount is given, which is called trade discount. That's all.